Hello, Mechwarriors. Welcome to this special edition of my Got Kills edition, Mechs Pushing Daisies. And in this edition, I'm doing a review of the 4 mechs that I'm using in this regard. The Sunspider DP special variant, the Sunspider C, the Sunspider A, and of course, my favorite one, which is the Sunspider Ambush. And in this beginning, we will talk about this particular mech, the Sunspider C, which was by far and away the very first one that I ever picked out. The Sunspider C holds a special place because I originally had this set up with 2 SRM6s and 4 LRM15s. Then I went to 2 LRM15s, 2 LRM20s, and once again 2 SRM6s, and then I went back and forth with different things and then trying different things along the way. And along the way I came out with a variable build which is now fairly similar to what my Sunspider A is. But I kept evolving the Sunspider C until I came up with this variant here. And in this variant here, this is a full ATM build. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this has 4 ATM 9s on board. Now you could go 4 ATM 6s and do fairly well, but 4 ATM 9s still has an amazing heat management. It's absolutely amazing. It's just wonderful. I mean, look at it. 1.41. It says it has a firepower of 84, and if you've seen any one of my videos about Sunspiders, you know that's not accurate. It's accurate from a point of view, but when they're giving a rating for the lasers, they're always giving the rating of the lasers in optimum range. So why aren't they doing it for the missiles at optimum range? I don't understand. But I will tell you that each one of these in optimum range does 22 damage. So that's 88 alone, which is higher than the rated firepower of 84. Not to mention, you still have 11 to throw on top of that 88, which makes it 99. So now you have a firepower of 99. Wow. Now, if you don't mind sacrificing some heat management, you can do 2 heavy medium lasers, and that'll give you a combined 20 on top of the 88, which makes 108 for your alpha strike or your firepower at optimum range. That is massive. And you still have a pretty decent heat management. So what are we getting out of this? Well, first of all, you're getting a hodgepodge of different things here. You're getting the original C torsos left and right, and then of course the center torso. And then on this one, you're getting the B arms. So the B arms give you 2 energy points and then 2 missile points, and then there's the 2 missile points in the main. So for firepower, you've got a pretty good amount of firepower you can put out. You can either cycle these or alpha strike them. I prefer to alpha strike them because with a heat management of 141, I can fire these 2 before I get into overheat. By the time they cool down and I can fire them again, I'm still below the threshold of 100% heat. You can't do it a third time in the same amount of period though, so you got to be careful with that. If you're looking for an alternate build for this, I would consider doing 2 ATM 9s and 2 ATM 6s, and then it'll create a cyclet feature where it'll fire all 4, and then the ATM 6 will fire, and then the ATM 9s will fire, and so on and so forth. And that gives you a good cyclic, not to mention allows you to have a little bit better heat management, and you can put more ammo on board. Now the ammo I have on here, I've got 4, 5, 6, 7 tons of ammo. It's not going to last forever, so you got to think about that in the future. So what do we got here? So we got a base armor plus 7, and we've got plus 10 on the armor here, and another plus 10, and guess what? Plus 7. And no head because we're married. But the center torso, we're getting plus 10 also. And then the legs, I think, is like nothing mentioned here. So you have a 1.41 heat management, a firepower of 84, but realistically it's 99. And then you also have a speed of 81. Now on all these mechs, they have different skills, and we'll just leave that to the quick builds that I've done videos about in the past. Moving on. Next, we have the Sunspider Ambush. And the Ambush is quite a special mech between all the Sunspiders. And what I mean by that is it's the only Sunspider you can buy anywhere where you get 2 energy points in each torso. Now, originally this comes with 2 ballistics, but that's not going to work for me. And I purchased this mech with real money just for the exact purpose of wanting this particular build. I was such a fan of the Sunspiders, I knew exactly what I was going to do. The moment I purchased this mech, I went ahead and took the ballistics off and threw on 2 missile points on each torso, or each arm, excuse me. And I've played around with doing with clan LRMs and clan ATMs. I've even done SRM6s on here a couple times. Never streaks because I don't believe in streaks. I don't like a weapon system you can't fire unless you have a lock, because I like to dumb fire my weapons. I'm a rebel. So let me show you this build. So I have 4 LRM-15s with Artemis, which means it's a tighter knit cluster. And the big advantage that LRMs with Artemis have is you get the tighter cluster of the weapons with the indirect fire, which really makes it kind of like a little bit of the best of both worlds. It's everything that an ATM weapon is, plus an LRM, with the exceptions of the amount of damage each missile does. But because it is a tighter cluster and you can go indirect fire, it actually does more damage when you really think about it than ATMs do. ATMs are a direct fire, kind of like a guided ballistic weapon. We'll talk about that more later on as we go. So anyways, this is giving you the ability of having 4 energy points. So I've got 4 energy points, I've got 4 missile points, and I've got 7 tons of ammo, just like the previous Sunspider C. But the Sunspider C is a ATM build, and this is an LRM build. Between the two, it's a toss-up which one has more damage in match play. I'm so good with either one, you know, sometimes I have better matches in one versus the other. But this one has a heat management of 121 because it has the 4 energy points. And then, but if it only had the 2 energy points, the heat management would be like 136, I think it is. So it has pretty decent heat management. The firepower on this, what it says, 84 is what it is. That's all there is, 84. And what are we getting out of this mech? Well, we're getting +7 here, just like before. We're getting nothing here, no head, married life, nothing here, and then +7 again. And the center torso is +10. So we're not getting any of the major quirks or features that you would normally get, but you're able to have a mech you can field the battle that does more than any of the other Sunspiders in its class, because you get these nice energy points, and they're a decent position on the mech. When you look at the position, they're right almost in line with the cockpit, so almost what you can see, you can kill. And that's part of the reason I run ATMs on these mechs from time to time. So this mech gets ATM or LRM. It goes back and forth. And I really have some really successful matches going both directions. It's easy. And here we have the last one on the list. We have the Sunspider D, and this is the Platinum Edition. But I've changed the paint scheme because I didn't like the Platinum paint job. It just made it too visible on the battlefield. I don't know. But this has definitely got its own distinct panel. Now, like the Sunspider C, it has a very similar layout. The Sunspider C, as you remember, has 2 ER medium lasers and 4 ATM-9s. This, on the other hand, has 2 ER medium lasers and 4 LRM-20s. And a quite snazzy build paint job. This paint job on most of my mechs usually reflects that it's an ATM build, and I tried this as an ATM build, but I wanted to have something that was very distinct and different from the Sunspider C, because there's no point in having a redundancy unless it's the exact same mech. So let's take a look at this guy. So this one is just 4 LRM-20s, non-Artemis. There simply isn't enough room or weight that you can put into it to support the Artemis. But I still have some really, really amazing matches with this guy here. So theoretically, if I wanted to, I could go with 4 LRM-15s with Artemis, and that would probably work. But I already have that on the ambush, and the ambush has better featuring out of it because it has um, 2 additional ER medium lasers. This one has 2 ER medium lasers total. So what am I getting out of this one? Well, I'm getting a better heat management than I would on the ambush. I've got a heat management of 1.35, which puts it in second place for the best heat management, which is given to the Sunspider C. The firepower on this one is 92. Wow. And the speed is once again 81, just like everything else. Now, as far as the overall features go, you're not getting a lot of this. Plus 7 here, plus 10, no head because that's married life, and plus 10, and then once again plus 7, and once again plus 10. So you're not getting a lot of quirks out of this, but you have to depend on the skills. Now I'm going to show you the skills, which pretty much goes in line with most of the other mechs in this grouping of Sunspiders. So usually I max out on range, and I've got a pretty good variance of heat generation. All of them have full velocity missile features, skeletal density, armor hardening, some reinforced casing, definitely overheat damage protection. The Sunspider A has AMS, so it has AMS overload. None of my Sunspiders have NARC, so it's nothing to even talk about. Because this is a LRM boat, it does have target decay, but on my ATM builds, it does not. So the Sunspider C does not have target decay because it doesn't matter. It doesn't have indirect fire, so I'm not going to benefit from it. My teammates might benefit from it if they have missiles, but missile boats are few and far between. I feel like we're kind of almost like unicorns in the battlefield. But definitely cool run, heat containment. Some of them have target decay or target info gathering and seismic sensor, but specifically just for the seismic. I'm not running it because I wanted to put that into other points, and usually if I have this, it's because it's an ATM build, and then I take that 5th node that I would normally have into this and put that into the advanced zoom. It just kind of works out that way. So if it's an LRM boat, the first thing I lose is seismic sensor and advanced zoom, and I put those 5 points into target decay because I do absolutely want to have radar deprivation. I want them to lose target as soon as I go into cover. And all of them have 2 cool shots in a UAV. So anyway, I hope you like the kill matches coming up showing the mechs pushing daisies. And I hope you like these builds. You can see why I'm really having a good time with these builds. And, you know, the best part about this game, I think, is building something that nobody else has or has done. It's really kind of endearing when I see people on the battlefield driving the builds that I've come up with. And the reason I know that these are builds that I've come up with is because I've never seen them anywhere else. Up until a year ago, nobody had ever been doing the builds that I've been doing. And now that I see that people are doing them, I don't feel any kind of jealousy whatsoever. It's kind of more like admiration. And some of the people that subscribe to the channel, they have done the builds and said, man, this really does work out. You know, they've told me great things about it, and I've heard people talk about it in match play and stuff. And it's really cool. You know, it's really cool to see people, you know, copy the designs that I've come with. I really like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't have any disgruntled feeling about it one way or the other. And sometimes I've even seen people with the exact same build and the paint job. And I'm like, wait, am I somehow in gameplay right now? Did somebody hack my account? I don't know. Anyway, I hope to see you on the battlefield, and keep playing the game. It's a great feeling. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Next, we have the Sunspider A. Now, this is one of the few mechs I have that has a weird paint job compared to the other ones. Now, the Ambush has the original paint scheme that it comes with the one caveat. I added darker pigment to the original body, and the reason I went with the original pigment, not only is it cool, but because people see it and they automatically assume it's a ballistics build. They never consider that it's either an ATM build or an LRM build. It never even crosses their mind until it's far, far too late. So this guy here is all LRM. And what is this one doing? This build was what I was trying to achieve that was achieved by getting the ambush. It's a little bit of the both of the better of the worlds. This I run this one exclusively as an LRM boat. I've got 3 LRM 20s with Artemis and 3 ER medium lasers and one hell of a cool paint job. And if you like woodworking like I do, and I do a lot of woodworking, you can really appreciate this look. I really love how the greens come in and stuff. That is just sick. Yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Makes it look like it's made out of a burnt mahogany with a light stain it's applied to it, or maybe like an oak. Or even, it has way too many ripples in it to be a cherry, but I have some nice cherry in the garage that I'm drying out and getting ready to use to make maybe a small coffee table with. But yeah, this is beautiful. So as I mentioned, 3 LRM 20s with Artemis. And then this also has 3 ER medium lasers, and it has laser AMS. What are we getting for ammo? Well, it's not a lot. We've got 7 tons, just like the previous 2 mechs, the Ambush and the Sunspider-C. But this one also has laser AMS on board, which is like free armor in my opinion. The heat management on this is 1.28, which is better than the Ambush, which is 1.21, but not near as good as it is on the Sunspider-C, which is sitting at 1.41. But this one still delivers a lot of damage, and I would argue that this one probably is really close to the best one of the group. I just like the versatility of the Ambush just a little bit better, because the Ambush always has the option for 4 energy points. You don't have to depend on missiles, and you have really good defensive quarter having that option. So yeah, this is probably second place. What are we getting? +7 armor, torso yaw, +5, and we're also getting base armor +10, no head, and we're getting +10 here, and I think we're getting +7 again. Now the center torso is also giving us +10, but I have, I'm taking advantage of whatever I can on this. Heat management, as I mentioned, is 1.28. Firepower is 78, and it's solid. And then 81 kph on the speed.